Hello, this is Alessio. Today is Friday, the 11th of June, and this is the weekly report for the best performing charts. So let's start off with Baidu. This chart, as you can see, is from June 3rd, and on June 3rd, I was basically predicting farther downside to come. I said, let's watch closely for the validation level, which was a red line, of course, which of course is the overlap of wave 4 and 1. So I said, if we don't break that, and the move up at the time looked very, it didn't look impulsive. It looked corrective. I said we should see further downside to come. Potentially, you could have shorted this, but it'd been a very good risk to reward ratio trade, or you could could just use that and wait for the downside to then actually trade with the trend. So if you look at Baidu now, we can see how we did continue lower, and we should keep doing that. If not, then what I said also to remember last time is that B wave could still be in the making, so we could get some kind of sideways B wave, which is possible because it's a wave B wave. If we think about it, this B wave would be very small compared to the advanced into wave A, so that would be no surprise. But for the time being, further downside, but still, it looks like the trend hasn't resumed yet, so that's something to keep in mind. So if we move on to the next one, which is CDNA, ticker symbol, this chart is also from June 3rd. So we can see how I predicted this leading diagonal into wave 1, and then we have the move done in wave 2, and with members within TradingLounge, we traded the move to the upside because we were monitoring there a month, I think it was a month ago at this time. So we were aware that we traded the move up, and I said at that time we are showing support on the 61.8 fib expansion between wave 1 and the possible wave 3. So since that was showing support, I said that if we actually start to move sideways from there, most likely we are due to resume higher. So after I said that, we can see how it did act as support and then we resumed higher. Now what could be happening is either there was one and we had just finished the wave 2, which it's possible, but it would be a very small 2, or that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we are almost done with wave 5 of possible wave 1, so now we should see wave 2. If not, that this could have been an ABC, so the 4 with the 4 not being completed, and we will resume lower. That's also a possibility this time because we haven't broken this high yet, so that's something we need to be aware of, and I need to remind you. But at this time, we traded the move up at TradingLounge, so there's no reason to worry about that. Well, if we get a pullback, which most likely we will, we'll see how that is going to develop. If it'll be 3, then we'll be more than happy to buy it. So moving on to the next one, which is Doku sign. This chart is a little bit more recent, June 7th, and you can see how after this complex correction into 1 and 4, I was expecting I marked up a wave 1 and 2 possible, and then I was expecting further upside, which came very, very soon and very fast. So now, if you look at Doku, now we can see how the upside is still there, and possibly we are in the wave 3 of blue 1. So the upside should continue, and we like to buy the pullbacks as long as they are in 3. Can we resume lower? Yes, we can, until we break the high, the previous high. So again, that is something we need to be aware of and trade accordingly. But for the time being, the smallest position would have been set around here because it was much lower, more at a discount price. So now, yes, we can still buy the pullback if they're in 3, but of course, probability-wise, the higher it goes, without breaking this point, then the lower are the chances actually continue higher, which may sound weird, but it's true, because if it doesn't break this and keeps going higher, then less people would be attracted to buy it. So that's when sellers will step in, if that makes sense. Anyways, if we move on to the next one, which is Fate, Therapeutics. This chart is from June 2nd. And this also was a compass correction. I was in wave A, B, and then I was expecting one more move down to then resume higher. So that didn't take much actually, because if you look at this side to side, you can see how we had A, B. The trend line is still there. I didn't move it. And now we did have to move higher. So possibly we can call this correction completed. That's more than a probability at this time. So, and the move up was quite sharp. It took a week, but it was quite strong. If we measure that actually, which we can, that was a 35% in a week. So definitely not bad. So yeah, and one thing we will need to monitor now, yeah, this looks impulsive. Possibly we will need a break of this kind of support line and an ABC. So as long as it stays in 3, the pullback stays in 3, then we can buy. And yeah, nothing. That's it for Fate. If we move on to the next one, which is Pinterest. Once again, this chart is from June 2nd. And I was just expecting a pullback into wave 2 and then further continuation, since I called the higher degree, intermediate degree wave 2 completed right there after reaching equality with wave 8, which is a very common target. So now we did have the pullback in wave 2 and we are zooming higher. One thing I would really like to see is the break of $70, which would be the overlap wave 1, and assuming that, because what we need to know is that possibly this is 1, 2, 3, and we are in 4. So that's a possibility. I cannot lie to you. That's true. But if we break this, then we would have the overlap of wave 1 and 4. So we could take that possibility out. But other than that, yeah, the forecast was successful. So we should see further upside. Last but not least is Raku. Once again, I was predicting another move up into wave 3 of 3. So usually quite sharp. Sorry, this is from June 7th. My apologies. And yeah, we had it. We haven't broken the high yet, so that is something we need to be aware of. We need to be aware of. So that possibly means that we can still be correcting lower, because as you said, for Doku and CDNA, and of course this applies to all charts, until we break the previous highs, we cannot be too confident in calling the correction completed. So yeah, we need to be aware of that. So far the forecast was successful, but we'll see in the future what's yeah, what's going to happen. So that was it for me today. Let me know in the comments if you have any question. I'm happy to answer. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the